No. I'm not the director. Are you ready to go?
I think so.
Okay.
Say some kind of introductory thing, like, I'm Dr. Marilyn Van Dyke, and today I'm presenting new board member training for the Warren County Historical Society. Okay.
You're good whenever.
Yeah, right. And don't forget to smile.
No, I won't. Good evening. This is board member training for new board members who have just joined the Warren County Historical Society. The society has an interesting history, and each one of you has received a pamphlet with material in it for your use, and I will be going over that material and giving you some background information, which I think will be helpful for you as a new board member. I would like to congratulate you on your nomination and subsequent election to the Warren County Historical Society. You will be serving a 3-year term, and if you enjoy working with us and taking part in our activities, you will be eligible for a second term, so you could be on board for 6 years, which I think would be very nice for you all to consider. Each one of you has a pamphlet or a folder with material in, and it's yours to keep, and you may make notes as I talk about the various points I'm going to be making, and you can take that home with you, and you may want to read over some of the material that's there. And first of all, let's look at a brief description of the Warren County Historical Society, which we have used several times in our grants and other materials. Warren County Historical Society is a nonprofit organization. It was organized in 1997 and has a charter from the New York State Education Department, and it is a 501c3 tax-exempt organization. The organization is dedicated to the preservation of the history of the county and to advocating for the protection of historic buildings and sites found in this rich historic area. It is also devoted to research and writing, especially in finding little-known history about the county and its people. A quarterly newsletter, The Pastimes, is published, and the Society also contributes weekly to the website, a column entitled Rewind, a look back at history, which contains a photo and historical accounts written by different volunteers who work with the Rewind coordinator. Headquarters for the organization is now located at 50 Gurney Lane in Queensbury, very close to the Warren County Center. The building is the old dormitory for nurses who worked in the TB Sanitarium, now the Warren County Nursing Home. It contains working offices, a research library, a gift shop, and the Society's collection. A permanent display of Warren County history and heritage is being developed. The organization is staffed with volunteers who work under the supervision of the executive director. A 25-member board of directors establishes policy for the organization, which is funded through donations, memberships, and fundraisers. The budget now stands at $35,000 and with a membership of 170 people. The organization networks with 11 other historical societies in the county, along with numerous other nonprofit organizations and governmental agencies. It is a member of the Upstate History Alliance, the Museum Association of New York, and the American Association of State and Local History. The mission of the Society is to promote the history of Warren County and its environs by supporting research and preservation efforts and encouraging public participation. If you look at the constitution of the organization, which is in here, in your pamphlet, as soon as I find it. Yeah, you can look at the organization, and you can see the how it's organized and what we have to abide by as we set up our society. Also, the amendments and bylaws are also in this package. I don't know why I can't find it, put it on hold.
Go.
We now have the Constitution in front of us. I hope you will all read this over when you have a chance, and it defines us as a charter organization, what the purposes of the society are, and what membership consists of, and who the officers and trustees are, and what their particular job functions are. So you will want to review that, and then you will have a pretty clear picture of who we are. Conflict of interest is something else that we have to deal with. If you feel you have a conflict of interest, you are asked to read over the information about conflict of interest and then sign this form that the secretary will give you at the office, saying that you understand what it is and that you agree and will follow the recommendations of the conflict of interest, so that we don't have any difficulties with that. We also have standards, policies, and procedures for the organization. The standard for us is the standard of excellence. Everything we do, we try to act in a very sound way and show that we are very definitely for 100% standard. It's very strong. Policies are rules and regulations to follow in similar circumstances over time. For instance, we have publication policies. If we're going to do a publication, we would follow the rules and regulations that are set up in that policy. And policy standards and procedures. Procedures are the steps that you will take to accomplish something, such as what is the role of the treasurer and how would the treasurer function in his or her position. So we follow those three things. Now, the role of the board of trustees. First of all, there's a fiduciary role in which you are the people who take care of the society in favor of all of its members and make sure that it is followed through very carefully. And not to follow a fiduciary plan could be a very bad mistake and something that we would not want to get involved in. We also do planning and budgeting every year, a complete work plan for the year and the budget that goes with it. You must have the work plan and the budget in order to be functioning well. We also work on policy development, as you know. What policies shall we have regarding the role of the treasurer? Or what policy should we have if we want to do publications? And we've developed those over time. You'll find some of these policies in the booklet that you have. Funding the society is another one of the roles of the Board of Trustees. We have a budget and we know how much money we're going to need, and we have to determine how we will obtain those funds for the society. Sometimes we have fundraising events. Sometimes we sell an item and make a profit. There are different ways that we could handle our fundraising. And confidentiality is another matter. When we are working on a situation or an issue in a board meeting, that's where it stays. It stays with the board members, and it doesn't go outside with everybody talking about it until we decide what is going to be the name of the game. And the confidentiality then is a very important aspect of our work. Now, what is the role of a board member? Here we go. First of all, you're an advocate for the society. You are a public relations ambassador. It doesn't hurt for you to tell people I'm a member of the board of Warren County Historical Society. And it's a wonderful organization, and this is what we do. And you are a promoter and an ambassador for us. You also do a lot of networking. You meet up with people in other groups and you see what they're doing. Suppose you visit another historical society and you learn some things that they're doing that we're not doing. You might want to ask them, well, how are you doing this? How did it work? Do you think it's something that we could do? We also have volunteer committees, a whole list of them here that people can serve on, and we ask you as a board member to choose what you think your strengths are and what your interests are and become a member of one of these volunteer committees for the society. We are a working board. We're not just a board with bunch of names on a list. We actually do contribute. And we also work on fundraising for the society, campaigns and special projects that we might have over time. It's part of what we do. Now, in the area of public relations, you probably know that we have letterhead stationery, and we send out letters using our stationery. But that stationery is protected, and if you want to use it, you have to make sure out on the stationery is a known factor, and you could give that letter to the executive director and have her approve it before it is sent out for anybody. We also have pastimes, and we work on that. Is that what you do, Stan? Yeah. Tell us about that.
It's a quarterly newsletter. We look for people who are interested in sharing something, writing articles for it. It gives us updates on each of the committees, the Education Committee, the Collections Committee, the Resource Library Committee. So it's a time where we send out the news to be read.
Goes out at that time. Okay, very good. We also do media releases. The executive director would approve a release that's going to go to the press and then would be published. We just recently had one a short while ago that was very nicely done. We also have a resource directory so we can find our organizations and different situations. We have a website, an email. We also do program flyers and various talks with service groups. Stan and I, not too long ago, went to talk about Charlotte Wood in up north and describe his background and interest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have a lot of organization activities that we do. We do programs and lecture series for adults and children. We do research all the time. That's why in our research center, we have a lot of files and materials that we've gathered over the years that we can use to help with our research. We have collections. We have a collections committee, and the collections are approved before they come into the organization, which is a good thing. And then we can use them and have them on display. We're going to be doing a 360 exhibit very soon, and some of these collections will be out on display for people to see. We also do publishing. I don't know if you've seen the book, The History of Warren County, that we did. It was a 10-year project to produce that book, and it's sold very well, doing very well. And we're looking at some other publishing projects that will perhaps come out this year. Exhibits are in the office, in the exhibit room, and you can stop by anytime and see them. And you can also visit our library, which is available at the same time that we have office hours going. Are there any questions about the society at this point? Questions? Don't hesitate to ask Terry or myself. We'll be happy to help you with anything that we can. We want you to be comfortable and we want you to be knowable and understand the organization that you have now joined. I hope you have a wonderful time with us, and we think we're a lot of fun, so have a good time.